This is a full book summary of John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. Firstly, you have to note, Of Mice and Men is another fiction written by John Steinbeck about the Dust Bowl. Now, it doesn't actually talk about the Dust Bowl itself directly in this book, but it is about during the Great Depression. I mean, the setting is during the Great Depression, so of course there is a lot that's happening in this place right now. Everyone's trying to find work, other people are competing for other work, and there's not high pay. But unlike his other contemporary novel, The Grapes of Wrath, this one mainly seems to talk about, well, how people are treated, and instead of how other people treat other people, it's talking about human nature. Sure, we still get to talk about other people treating other people, but not as directly, like, I gave you low pay because of this. No, none of that. Here it's more about the good and bad versions of people and how that seems to affect the way they seem to be. Anyways, without further ado, here goes the summary. The story starts off with looking at these two men. A short guy, whose name is George, and then there's this tall guy who is, coincidentally, very buff, but dumb. They're both traveling together, and it's pretty much about to be nighttime. Lenny asks George where the heck are they going, forgetfully, and George, obviously annoyed, goes ahead and responds with, "Alright, we're going to this place for work. Remember? There's this ranch. They gave us some work slips. We're going there." Lenny goes into his pockets like, "Oh no, I lost my work slip." And then George's like, Alright, did you really forget? Did you really think I'd let you carry your own work card? Here's yours. And here's mine. And now, let's just get going. Let's go to the ranch." "No, we have to stop here for the night." "What? Why?" "As you can see, it's nighttime. And we're still pretty far away from the ranch." What you got there in that pocket?" "A mouse." George snatches the mouse. Lenny protests. And George flings the mouse away. And he's all like, "Go get a campfire. I just want to pet soft things. While your old Aunt Clara went ahead and gave you some mice, but you always killed them because you're too strong. And then she gave you rubber ones. Rubber ones don't feel like the real ones." "Of course they don't. They're rubber." "My life would be so much easier without you." And then Lenny is all like, "Oh, sorry, George. I can go live in a cave if you want me to." And Lenny said that. And George is all like, "No, I want you to stay with me, Lenny. Now go get that firewood." They get the campfire going, and then they eat some baked beans in the can, and then George tells him, "If any trouble comes in here, go to this exact spot right over here and hide in those bushes." Okay. The next morning, they head out, and then they finally arrive at the ranch. There, they get interrogated by the boss of the ranch, mainly because, well, they were late. They were supposed to arrive at the ranch yesterday, but because of the bus driver that let them off a few miles, well, actually 10 miles early, they were late to this afternoon. And so he was all like, "Alright, you fellas, so tell me about yourselves." Yeah, we can do work. We're here for some work." "Alright, big guy, what about you? What can you do?" "Oh, he can work out really hard." "I didn't ask you, I asked him." "Yeah, he can work really hard." "Why the heck is he not talking? He's not much of a talker?" "Well, yeah, he isn't. He is strong like a fella, though." Me strong like a fella." Glare. Oh, sad. Why are you so interested in this guy? Are you gonna, like, do something towards him? Hey, you gonna take away his pay or something?" "Oh, no, he's my cousin." "Oh, I know his Aunt Clara, and so when his Aunt Clara died, I, well, took care of him. And, of course, other things too." "Oh, right, so why isn't he talking them? If he knows he can do that, why didn't he say so?" "I'm not saying he's bright. He ain't. But he's a really good goddamn worker." "Well, it's too late to go to the morning shift, so you're gonna have to go in the afternoon shift after you eat dinner. So after you eat dinner, you're in Slim's group, got it?" Yes, sir. There's this old guy named Crooks. He's really old. He's been in the ranch for the longest, and he used to be a shepherd. And so he's like, all right, you guys? Yeah. Oh, well, there's the bunk bed you're gonna be sleeping in. And so George's like, what's this? Lice repellent? Oh, don't worry about it. It's super clean. The last person who had that bed was a clean freak. Oh, sure. And then come in Curly, the boss's son. I'm never gonna get canned because my old man's the boss. Don't you guys dare even take a look at my wife. Also, where is my wife anyway? I don't know, actually. She wasn't here. God dang it, you guys. He then looks up at Lenny, who's all like, huh? Alright, I'm gonna provoke you. And he keeps going and insulting him, and Lenny's like, what's happening? Curly realizes that Lenny doesn't know he's being provoked, and then so just leaves. George tells Lenny, alright, if anything happens, don't you even dare even go near that wife. She's trouble. Even if I heard it. Alright, so before that, actually, Curly's wife came here, and she's all like, alright, hey guys, and none of them wanted her. Lenny called her Perty, and George is all like, you know what, man? Don't even look at her at all. Later, they meet this cool guy named Slim, who, well, yeah, has a dog who just had puppies. And he's all like, oh yeah, puppies, yeah, who wants puppies? And Lenny obviously is like, me. And so he's like, I want the black, brown, and white one, George. Yeah, I got it. And so in the end, George relents. The puppies aren't old enough so Lenny is forbidden from even touching them right now. But Lenny, of course, is a big, super strong giant, and he's like, I'm gonna touch them right now! And so he goes out to touch them anyway, which is pretty bad. Then Candy, the old guy we saw earlier, comes in with this stinky dog that's also very old, and it's more trouble than he's worth. And so this guy named Carlson is all like, hey, you know what? We can just spare him of all that misery if we can just like bang him on the back of the head and then he's dead, and so we can do whatever he want. It will be a lot of mercy on this guy. Kenny, of course, is upset by this and, well, goes onto the bunk bed, but he has to agree to this. Carlson goes outside, there's a bang shot, and then Carlson comes back inside and he's all like, alright, the job's done. Everyone looks at Candy, who is just a little bit sad. That dog was his best friend, and now he can't just do anything at all without it. It's like he lost his will to live, except he is still living. While Candy is having his moaning state, George and Lenny are both talking about their dream farm. Again. Actually, they go ahead and do this all the time. So there's always this little bit of a farm, and inside that farm, they'll be self-sufficient, and there will be a big cage with rabbits for Lenny to take care of, and Lenny is all like, yay, you can feed them alfalfa, yay! Candy asks, is the place real? George is like, yeah, it is. It's worth $600. I saw it myself. Hey, why do you care? Well, ever since my dog was killed, I had no will to live. So I hope I can just like go ahead and join you guys too. I got $350 in the bank. I can give it to you if you let me go into the farm with them. Oh yeah. We each got $10 each, but if we don't spend it and we each earn our $50 per month, then we will eventually get $120. Add that together, we'll get $470. Oof, that's almost enough. Then you can go buy the place, and afterwards I'll go pay the rest of the money myself. Hooray! Enter Curly, who is not happy because he thought Slim was sleeping with his wife. He and his Vaseline-filled black glove, which is a rumor by the way, goes ahead and he's taking to look out his anger on someone. Of course, Candy is a little bit, well, it's quiet now that Curly's here in a mad state. Everyone else is quiet except Lenny, who's still smiling because of the ranch, and is like, what the heck are you smiling at? Lenny's like, huh? And then Curly makes the mistake of fighting the super tall super giant. So for a while, Curly is is beating up Lenny. And George is all like, Lenny, fight back. Lenny does so by catching one of Curly's fists and then crushing it. Yeah! Goes Curly because now his hand is broken. Afterwards, well, somehow this crisis averted somehow. Slim was able to convince Curly not to tell. Lenny goes ahead and goes into Crook's room. Crooks is African American, but since he's colored and I use a background, I'll just color him white. That does not make much sense, actually. So this is Curly, and he's all like, alright, what the heck do you want to be in my room for? Lenny's all like, I just want to be friends. Oh, yeah, I guess we can be friends? Later on, Candy comes in, and then, well, after that, Curly's wife comes in, trying to flirt with everyone. She then finds out that Lenny's the one who broke her husband's hand, and for some reason she finds this super hot. Then she leaves, after having a healthy dose of racism towards Crooks. Lenny then goes off and finds his puppy dead. Well, has a dead puppy in his hands. He killed it because it tried to bite him and he slapped it very hard. He hides it. Well, at least tries to hide it. And then Curly's wife comes in and invites him to touch her hair. And so Lenny is like, touch a little too hard. And then she's like, hey, stop it. And then he panics because she's screaming now, covers her mouth, shakes her a lot, which inadvertently, breaks her neck. Lenny runs off. The rest of the boys all find the dead body of Curly's wife, who I just realized does not have a name in this. Curly's all like, I'm gonna go kill Lenny, and George is all like, wait, stop, he didn't do it out of meanness. George sends him in the wrong direction, and then he goes off to find Lenny in the little bit of a tree that he told him to hide in if he was ever in trouble. Lenny has visions of his Aunt Clara telling him about George's life would be so much better if you went there to help him around, and then also a giant rabbit telling him, you really thought you could take care of us, you forget about us. And then George arrives and is like, alright man, yeah, it's okay. Lenny's all like, you're not gonna give me hell? No. Oh, okay. Alright, face those stars, I'll tell you about the dream. Okay. And so Lenny goes off. George talks about the dream and then shoots him in the back of the head out of mercy. Curly's gang, Lynch Mob, comes in and finds Lenny dead, and, well, the gun isn't in Lenny's hand anymore. He's on the ground. Slim is all like, you had to do it, and then they went off to go get a drink. The rest of the Curly's Lynch Mob is all like, I wonder what they're sad about. The end. So that's the end of the summary of John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, Shanana, peace. Bye-bye.